What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 66 of the Yard Podcast. I'm your host, Randy.
And I'm your host, Conan.
No Ray this week, so yeah, we're gonna handle this on our own, and we're gonna get right into it. It is Tuesday, July 27th. Been a rough kind of last week for the Dodgers since our last recording. They went 3-3. Last 10, they are 5-5, and they are 2 games back. They have the game tonight. They're starting a 3-game series against the Giants. We got Urias versus Webb on the mound, and could be a good week because if they go and win, sweep the series, they come out of this first place on top. So kind of really all we can hope for in this series is a sweep, since they did not even attempt to give us that last time. Could have been, should have been.
Oh, they attempted to, but
Yeah, we're gonna get into that like pretty much right now because there was a lot of that going on. But that first series is the Giants one. Obviously, as we all know, the Dodgers dropped that. They won 1 out of 3. They had we already talked about Monday night's game last week. So this week we had Tuesday night's game. We saw Josiah Gray make his MLB debut, which we will absolutely touch on, up against Alex Wood. The Dodgers won that one 8-6, and then from there it was all downhill. Wednesday we had Urias versus Webb, which, like I said, same matchup is going on tonight. We lost that one 4-2. And then it was Thursday, Buehler versus DeSclafani. Should have won that one too. Dodgers lost 5-3. So we're just gonna kind of go over the series in a whole. And the starting pitching, my opinion, I mean, granted, I guess we could start with Gray, just because I think we were both very excited for him to make his MLB debut, and he did. And if you looked at his box score, you'd probably think, okay, not the greatest, but if you watch the game, there were lots of positives to take away from it. And my biggest thing was he was mixing his pitches up early on, and he got a few swings and misses on his slider, which I really liked. The slider seemed to be working well for him. I know you've been watching him in AAA, but man, it was good to finally see him up there. And we kind of talked about it, we talked about it a little bit over text as what we saw from him. So curious as to how
yeah,
you
it
felt.
was. So watching it, I was like, okay, he's pitching a lot better than the box score says. And then because I like him so much, I rewatched it again and came away with the same conclusion, looking a lot closely this time, or a lot closer this time. He made a few mistakes. Obviously, the fastball right down the middle to Wade, and then he hung a curveball to Yastrzemski. The walk to Posey probably shouldn't have been a walk because it was a strike, but whatever. Um, so to start, his fastball location wasn't the greatest, but he was getting away because the Giants couldn't touch the slider or curveball. Um, if I checked, if I'm not mistaken, he had 15 whiffs in 4 innings against the Giants, and then he also had 19 against the Rockies in 4 innings. So the swing and miss stuff is definitely there. The slider looked incredible. Curveball, besides I won't say the shrimps, he was pretty good. He only threw like 1 or 2 changeups, but those were good. So I was very happy with what I saw from Gray. He just needs to locate the fastball better, and he did. After that first inning, he started hitting corners with the fastball, and that's when he started pitching better.
Yeah, I loved what I saw from him. And yeah, like you said, he had the 19 swings and misses on that Sunday start. And the only Dodger with more this season is Kershaw, according to Eric Stevens. So have yourself some good company there, Gray. Liked what I saw
That's
even.
incredible.
Yeah, liked what I saw even more from him this last outing. He did walk some, but he gave up the home runs, and I think we all kind of it's this is bound to happen. He even admitted he happens. He throws the ball in the zone. He tries to throw strikes. So he's going to give up home runs, but he doesn't give up a lot of hits. I mean, over his first 8 innings pitched, he's given up 7 hits, which, like, yeah, not what you want. But for a rookie against especially the Giants, like I was very, very happy with what I saw from him. And I'm glad that they're giving him a chance to kind of go. They didn't just have him the one start and then send him back down. One of his things, I know I'm ahead in series, but since we're talking about Gray, one thing I really, really liked in that Sunday game against the Rockies was the top of the fourth. So we got Story swinging to lead the inning off, but then he walked Crone, walked Diaz, and then a wild pitch put runners on second and third. So he ended up intentionally walking Hilliard to load the bases. And I saw someone warming up in the bullpen, and I was like, Roberts, please do not pull him. Let him battle through this. And I am so glad he did, because he ended up, it was the bottom of the lineup. He ended up getting Fuentes swinging, and then he ended up striking out Gray, the other pitcher, um, to end the inning. So he totally buckled down. Bases were loaded, did his thing, looked great out there. He's poised like a big leaguer. He looks like he's been around for
So
years.
poised.
Yeah, and it was one.
I was noticing that too. I mean, he looks poised in AAA, but I feel like everyone does. But he looked super poised. Even in the first game when he was giving up home runs, you can just kind of see him shrug it off, like, "All right, I'll give him the next time." And I'm like, I like that. Even when you're making mistakes, you're not getting too down on yourself, because
Yeah.
that's when that leads to more trouble. So I'm glad to see him bounce back.
Yeah, I forget what home run it was. It was in the Giants game, but there was a home run he gave up, and he kind of looked at it. You could kind of tell like he was annoyed he gave it up, but the look on his face was kind of like, okay, I know what I did. I'll fix it next time. Like, won't happen
The,
again.
the home run to the shortstop was way over his head, so I don't know how that was a home run. It just looked like it was gonna be a fly out to center, and then it kept going, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Yeah, a couple of those seem to fly out for some reason, but yet not for the Dodgers. But yeah, no, Gray was fantastic. Starting pitching, I mean, even if we look ahead all the series, we had the, like I said, with Gray in that game on Sunday, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. I mean, the starting pitching in every game was good. Gonsolin was at his best in that game against the Rockies. He had a season high in innings pitched and strikeouts. And so it's it's the same thing that I feel like we keep dealing with. Like the starting pitching's there. It's either the bullpen blows it, which we saw. We saw Jansen blow back-to-back saves. Yeah. In the, well, I was gonna say in the Giant series, but I guess yeah, it was in the Giant series. He did blow him. I forgot. Yep, that Wednesday and Thursday back-to-back saves. Threw
And
way
then
too
the one
many.
against the Rockies too.
Yeah, threw way too many pitches to begin with on that Wednesday, Thursday back-to-back days. I did not understand that one bit. But it seems to be the common theme. Let the starting pitcher do well. Freaking Urias killed it on Wednesday, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned. And
Urias was fantastic, because I think the last time we saw him against the Giants at Dodger Stadium, he had the worst outing of his career. So he really buckled down and pitched very well.
yeah, and I'm expecting to have another good game tonight. But it just feels like the starting pitching keeps doing their thing. We saw some really good defense in that first game against the, or sorry, not the first game, the second game against the Giants on the Tuesday. Saw plenty of sloppy defense kind of throughout. We saw, what game was it where they had, oh, was it that Thursday game? Yeah, that Thursday game was really ugly on the defensive side of things, when we had Noisy not stretching at second game or second base. I don't know what happened there. Um, it was just not good baseball against the Giants. It felt like one of those series where we just beat ourselves. Like the offense showed up intermittently, only when they really wanted to. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of positives to say about it. We
But
saw,
I was gonna say, so this is going back to like Jansen. Um, I've said that he was starting to struggle a little bit, but he was getting out of it. And this is even going back to, I think, the National Series. He just can't or couldn't get a clean inning from that series on. And he was getting away with it, but you have to figure, if this is a continuing trend, then that eventually it's going to catch up to him, and it's caught up to him. Um, I feel like ever since that World Series in 17, he's been pretty meh. He was bad at 18 and 19. He had a strong start last year, then kind of weak finish. Strong start at 21, but he's in a pretty bad spot right now. His strikeout rate is down 5%. His walk rate is up almost 10%. That's not a recipe for success. Uh, then I think where I got frustrated with is I had people telling me the second blown save against the Giants wasn't his fault. They wanted to blame Noisy and the umpires. But before that, he gave up a single, a double, and a walk. If any one of those are an out, the game's over. But yes, let's blame Noisy, excuse me, and the umpire. Um, so his command was not good. He put himself in these positions to have things go wrong. So it's not Noisy's fault. It's definitely not the ump's fault. I know the check swing, sure he went, but before that, on a 2-0 count, there was a ball way outside that was called a strike. If that's properly called a ball, he threw a ball in the dirt a few pitches later, so he would have walked anyway, which would have tied the game. So I just, excuse me, all this blaming other people, just, I don't know, just the onus is on Jansen. He has one job to do, and he's not doing the job. I don't care if it's 1-0. They gave you a lead. Your one job is to hold that lead. You're not doing it. There's no more excuses. And I do it myself. I blame the offense. Where it's like, well, if the offense would have scored a few more runs, but you know, even if it's just one run, again, they did their job. They have a lead. Now it's on you to do yours, and he's not doing it. So I'm just tired of the excuses, honestly.
Yeah, I don't necessarily look at them as excuses. I do look at them as parts of the game that like we kind of watch, and it's just what the hell, because some of those were very like just awful calls. Like that check swing, it was very clear rough went. And granted, like sure the call was wrong earlier on the balls and strikes at home, but you also don't expect the first base umpire to miss a call that bad when it comes to whether or not someone went around. And it's one of those things that it's kind of like, for me, it's like at the end of the day, it's first of all, it's never one person's fault for me. Like it's a whole team of 9 players, everyone's got to do their job, and multiple people that night did not do their job. Taylor had talked about the throw at short, because like my question was why not go to first, and he had actually answered this question on the broadcast after, something like he caught the ball a little flat-footed, and so he was already going back, which kind of was going to make the throw to first a little bit more difficult. So then he went to throw it to second. The way Noisy grabbed it, I don't even know if Noisy knew how many outs there were in the inning, because he definitely did not look like he was receiving a ball for the third out of the inning. It's those little things that are frustrating. Like if Noisy does stretch, game's probably over again. But if Jansen doesn't
And
walk guys
I
or give
get
up
that
base hits,
the game is definitely over if he stretches, but at the same time, again, he's kind of putting himself in that position. If he doesn't walk the batter previous, he
no, of
gets it or gets it
course,
out the previous
yeah.
two batters. So it's
I just
I
think
get it. It's a whole thing, yeah, but
I think
I'm
it's
actually gonna put the onus because
I think
he has
it's
a chance to get other batters out and he's not doing it.
yeah, I think it's fair for fans though to be like, hey, when you expect your fielders to do their job behind you. When someone gets a ground ball, you 100% expect them to get the play done behind
Yes,
them,
yes.
because at the end of the day, I mean, it's the same exact thing can be said for the defense. You've got to pick your guys up. Like when Jansen is struggling and missing the zone, you expect the defense to have to step up in those moments and carry him. When the defense makes mistakes at times, I expect Jansen to pick them up and go, okay, they let an error on. Like it's kind of one of those things where I feel like everyone takes blame a little bit, because you've got to pick
Yeah,
your guys up. If the defense makes an error, pitching's got to pick them up. If they give up a run, offense got to pick, like everyone has to pick everyone
yeah,
up. So it kind of falls on everybody. But
yeah.
yeah, pitchers,
I
you've got
think
to,
for me, it's more so even if okay, so he gets the bases loaded and Noisy stretches out, the game's over, the Dodgers win 3-1. I'm yes, the win's good, but I'm still not confident because he again had traffic on bases, and I'm just like, well, he got through it
oh, well,
again this
yeah.
time, but at some point, it's really gonna start come back, start biting me in the ass. So I need to start seeing some clean innings from him. Or for God's sake, Roberts, if you don't let Trinan close, I might strangle you myself because you are getting on my nerves. I'm about to go to fire Dave Roberts' Twitter. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I just don't believe that's on Roberts. So I think Jansen's as big of a baby as he looks on TV. I 100% believe that he's like that in the clubhouse, and that if they say the wrong thing, it's going to send a lot of things into a spiral. Because I can't. Roberts makes questionable mistakes. I think every single
A
manager
lot.
does. Um,
Absolutely.
I can't imagine that he's continuously throwing Jansen out there again and again and again unless there's legitimately a reason why he does. I think it's just one of those things that it's kind of like last year, like Jansen's gonna have to blow it enough himself that they're finally like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. It would be nice if they figured that out before he blew it and we didn't have to go through a lot of these tough losses. All I have to say is, my God, I hope Corey Knebel's rehab assignments continue to go well, because getting him back would be some like next level. It'd almost be like a great trade acquisition that we're getting back at the deadline. because we
Yeah,
need him.
I mean, his first start went well, so let's hope that he continues.
Yeah,
He
I
got up
just
Bregman out, but Bregman's whatever. So I mean, um, was at least Knebel said he wanted at least 5, so that was one. So at least 4 more. So maybe early August we
yeah.
should have him back, which is a far cry from early September, late August, which we were expecting, if at all. So yes, that would definitely be a huge boost for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think that's just another thing is like it all falls down to having no Kershaw. Obviously, all that everything going on with Bauer, you start
I don't
coming
know who
into
that
the
is.
yeah, you start coming into that bullpen more and more and more, and it just becomes more problematic. And I kind of
Well,
feel like
Jimmy
that.
Nelson's back, I think, right? So
Yeah, he
that should
is.
help too.
Yeah, he just came back on Sunday. So that's been really good there. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm very happy Gray came up, but unfortunately, the corresponding move for that was putting Alexander on the 10-day IL with left shoulder inflammation, and they had to DFA Andy Burns. So losing a bullpen piece, not great. And then we didn't talk about very briefly, we're not really going to talk about it, but the Dodgers did acquire Billy McKinney from the Mets in exchange for minor league outfielder Carlos Rincon. And they had to DFA Jake Reed in order to make room on the 40 man for McKinney, and Rays claimed Reed off waivers on Sunday. So he's probably going to end up being great. I liked him. I thought he was well. We've seen Noisy,
He's all right. Pretty
Nunez
good.
up and down, Rex up and down, Gratterall's back on the team, the option
I think
Clevenger. There's been
what
a
we're
lot
the,
going on with
the
the bullpen.
thing that so Noisy went down, struggled a little bit. Seemed like to find it because he was doing really well in AAA. Came up here is not doing anything again. It just looks awful. I think people should realize how difficult or how big of a gap that AAA jump is to the major leagues. Um, it's, I mean, hitting already isn't easy, but these pitchers are really good. Um, so I mean, it'd be nice if he was better. Obviously, it'd be nice if a lot of people were better, but I'm starting to feel a bit sorry for some of these players because I mean, obviously they don't want to be bad. It's just they're in a really difficult situation right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just the lack of depth. Friedman's got a, which I feel like was McKinney move. Like I feel like that's really all that came from him was he's just depth. Someone that they can have a big league bat that can be out there. What did you say? You
I
said
mean,
Mets had read about him. Mets Reddit was talking
oh, that
about him.
he played good defense. Got he's got a fast bat, and then he gets through stretches where he's incredibly hot, and then he won't hit a lick for 2 or 3 weeks. Seems
Sounds
about
like a
right. I
Dodger.
mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't been terrible. He's had like a couple doubles, couple walks, but nothing too big. I feel like those couple doubles, couple walks are better than anything Rayleigh or Noisy have done. So I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely an upgrade over those guys. Both have been back. And then speaking of the,
Although I forgot what game it was. The ball, I think it was the Giants game where Jansen was still pitching for whatever reason, and Wade hit the single. Betts would have had it.
yeah,
Unfortunately, we didn't have Betts. So that was so the people were like, "Well, Mikishi probably would have had it," and I'm like, probably not. The only right fielder that I think that would have had it was Betts and Bellinger if Bellinger was playing right field. But other than that, it was going to be a hit.
yeah. On the bullpen, since the bullpen continues to get hurt, Jimmy Sherfy was placed on the 10-day IL with right elbow inflammation, bringing back Mitch White. And then
Oh
Dodgers
fuck!
finally decided to put Betts on the 10-day IL with right hip inflammation. It is retroactive to Thursday. He can return at the earliest August 1st. They should have done this sooner. I don't know what the hell took so long, but I'm glad he's finally on the IL. He just doesn't need to play. Let him get better. And then
Apparently, Betts is feeling really good today and
good.
could come back Sunday. So hopefully that's a good sign.
Yeah, let him just keep resting. And then Jimmy Nelson was activated. He's been on the IL since July 9th with a left lumbar strain. So we did get a little bit back there in that regard, but lost a couple other arms on the way down. Hopefully Knebel back soon and a couple other guys. But someone who's really stuck out to me in the bullpen and someone I feel like we can't not talk about when we talk about the bullpen is Alex Vesia. Since being recalled on July 9th, I don't know if anyone's really been better in the bullpen. He's gone 7 innings pitched, one hit, no runs, one walk, and 5 strikeouts. He's completely turned it around, and it has been fantastic to see. He killed it, especially in that series against the Rockies. Great job for him. Came in back-to-back games. He's been looking really good. Yeah,
And
just
that's exactly what you want to see from a young player who gets sent down, fix it, do well in AAA, come back and do well. So that's what we're hoping to see from some hitters because they clearly clear AAA pitching. So hopefully the hitters will follow suit because the pitchers I think have done well. Clevenger got sent down, or he's been up and down, but I think he's been pretty decent as well. So it's time for the hitters to follow suit.
yeah, I've liked what I've seen from some of the younger pitchers. Haven't seen White yet, so we'll see if anything's changed for him. But yeah, the pitching showed up pretty good in that series against the Rockies, minus that first game that kind of was it the first game? No, sorry. It was yeah, it was the first game where they lost 9-6 in the
So
10th
yeah,
inning.
and I also saw people talking about, oh well, the offense isn't helping. Well, I mean, there was no Muncie, there's no
Yeah, there wasn't a
Betts,
whole lot of
Bellinger wasn't in there. Uh, I, McKinney was batting second. Barnes was batting fifth. He did hit a home run, but I mean, like, what are you expecting from an offense that has Aston Barnes batting fifth?
yeah, no, it's yeah, that was I mean, yeah, the offense I looked at a lot of those lineups and like the first four batters was like cool. Like we didn't have Muncie, but like we could make this work. And then it was like, okay, what the hell? And
And they made it work. Chris Taylor told me to shut the fuck up.
yeah, he
Nothing's
did.
wrong with his
Holy
swing.
shit. Yeah, he did.
And shout out to him. I that's he did
It's
fantastic.
actually
And
really funny because he ended up winning NL Player of the Week.
yeah,
So I thought that was really funny. He fucking dude killed it.
he did.
Since Mookie Betts has been gone and out of the leadoff spot, he is batting 4-4. He's slashing 414, 433, slugging 1,000 with an OPS of 1.4. 1.433. That's insane. 12 hits, 5 home runs, and 2 double bases. He's like, I'm just gonna carry this whole team on my back, and Chris Taylor
And
is
he did
doing
that.
just that
I mean,
right now.
obviously he had help
It's
from the
insane.
pitching, but offensively he carried them. There was no
Yeah,
question about that.
yeah, and then like that, yeah, he dominated that Friday night. But you had mentioned we didn't have Muncie, and we did not have Muncie because him and his wife welcomed their baby girl. That was on Friday, so congratulations to them. He
Congratulations.
is back with the team now, though, so he will be back to
Sorry, Giants. Your
he's
daddy's back.
he's I should say he's back to father his actual real firstborn. So he's there to take care of them in San Francisco. But on a serious note, congratulations to the Muncies and hopefully nothing but good health for their baby girl. We did see Gratterall back. He was recalled that Friday night. Uh, he's doing well, but I'm still not seeing what I want to see from him. We're still not seeing a tons of swings and misses,
He gave up
especially
2 runs.
on his
I think his
slider.
first outing back.
So
It was the
yeah, that's
game
right.
they
Shit.
blew to the Rockies.
Yeah, that's right. I
Jansen
forgot
didn't
about
pitch
that.
in.
It was the next game he
Him
did better.
him and Nunez
Yeah.
blew the game for the yeah.
Yeah, in the top of the eighth. That was not a good time at all. And then you have freaking Barnes like helping bring that bottom of the ninth too. Like holy shit, what a mess. So Austin Barnes is like a pinch hitting king this year, batting. He's 6 for 13, leads off with a single. Then Taylor base hit. So then you have it's like it's a freaking the Dodgers are losing 6-5. So then you have second and third, nobody out. McKinney base is loaded, whatever. Turner draws a walk.
Yep.
Game is tied 6-6, nobody out. And then the next 3 guys go down swinging like
Ugly.
Smith,
Ugly.
noisy. I expect it. Smith and Pollock, what the hell, man? Like bases loaded,
See,
nobody
that's what I
out,
was saying.
and we couldn't.
I
You
didn't
can't even put up ground into a double play for all I
play.
care.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care.
That was my thing. Noisy, I kind of expected it, but I don't want to be too hard on Smith because he's been fantastic since the All-Star break. But my goodness, bro. On 3 pitches, when the man couldn't find the strike zone, come on, bro. You're better than that. I was like, okay, game's over. Even if he doesn't get a base hit, he's gonna hit a fly ball somewhere. The run will score, and we can move on. Yep. So I mean, probably shouldn't have been in that position anyway. Honestly.
Yeah. No,
Bullpen. Vessia did his job. Bigford was all right, but did his job. And then Gratterall came in, didn't do anything, and Nunez has good stuff to play in the majors, but he's tipping his pitches. That's his problem. When he throws his changeup, you can see his arm slowing down a ton. So at that point, batters are like, okay, I know he's throwing me a changeup. Now all they have to do is find the zone. and clearly they're finding it. So they need to fix that immediately.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Um, but no, I was looking at this game. The thing that stuck out to me this game was freaking Bellinger finally broke out of his skid and then he gets hurt. It was his first multi extra base hit game of the season. He had that double and then he tripled. And then of course after that, that's when he ended up coming out of the game. Luckily
A
he is
hamstring, yeah.
back in the lineup tonight playing first base because they are trying to keep him from having to run too much. So hopefully that goes well. And like I said with Gratterall, um,
I
he was better his
I
second
did.
outing, but he only had
He
one
was, yeah.
swing and miss on the slider, and then Blackman doubled on his slider. And I just like it is so hard for me to have much faith in a guy in late innings who can't get swings and misses because when you throw hard, like cool, but when you throw hard and the ball doesn't move, it's not going to get it done. Like Gratterall
So
throws 101, cool, but if it's straight as a line, it's not going to fool big leaguers.
yeah, they'll time it. Yeah. So this is the same thing he was doing last year, and he was getting away with it. Just kind of getting a lot of ground balls because the sinker's really heavy. Um, but this year it's just not working out. They're putting a lot better swings on the heavy sinker, so he's got to figure it out. We thought he was figuring it out in AAA because he started looking good. He's getting a lot of swings and misses on a slider. Hasn't worked out here. Obviously, again, the jump is significant from AAA to the major leagues, but I mean, hopefully he can find it soon because we desperately need help.
Yeah. So Dodgers dropped that first one. Didn't look good. Kind of looked just like we
I
expected
I
from
did
the.
want to talk about Bellinger really fast because I know he got hurt that game. But so I saw the problem in his swing. It's he hasn't been able to find the right timing. So at first he was swinging completely under it, which is causing all the flyouts. And recently he's been swinging over it with zero lift. So that's what was causing nothing but ground outs. So like 15 to 20 degrees is usually considered the sweet spot for a power hitter. This year, Bellinger's at 22 degrees, which is why he's popping out a lot. When Bellinger was at his best, 2017 through 2019, his launch angle was 17 degrees. So that should be his sweet spot. He needs to figure it out. Um, for the more well-rounded hitters, their launch angles actually between 5 to 11 degrees. So like Seager, Soto, Tatis Jr., Vladimir Jr., Tim Anderson, their launch angles are between 5 and 12 because they're actually more inept at lifting the ball, hitting the top half of the ball, but lifting it, which is why they get doubles and singles, and which is why they hit 300. And also they can launch when they do get a pitch that they can handle. So Bailey just needs to find his sweet spot. It was looking good that game against the Rockies. So hopefully tonight we see more of the same. Because if he's just going to swing over it and continue to be ground balls, that's Lux's issue right now, and they need to get it together.
Yeah, hopefully we see more of that from him tonight. Because it was nice to see him double and triple. It kind of looked like what we expect from him, and he's obviously a big piece, especially with Bellinger out. So or Bellinger with Betts out.
I thought that triple was going to be a home run though.
Yeah, yeah, I thought
So
it
the
was.
shoulder has to be bothering him.
Yeah, yeah, I figure it's gonna take some time. I forget what I was listening to, but I was listening to something and they said it could be one of those things that follows him the rest of the season. Might not even see a full healthy Bellinger until next year.
So
So
next year, that makes sense.
it's got to be like his first half MVP where he was just slapping the ball kind of around and
Yeah,
running
yeah.
and rely on those
And
legs.
I know people aren't going to like that because they expect 40 home runs from Bellinger, but him slapping base hits and stealing bases is a lot better than him doing nothing. So
Yeah, so I don't care. Take it. The power will come anyways. He's still
yeah,
so young, so that'll come back
yeah, yeah. Once he has a
anyways.
full off season to be able to actually rehab it and get more strength into it, he should be fine next year.
Yeah, he's
Keyword is
small.
should.
He's small. He didn't
Yeah.
get to lift. Like he's not a big dude. Like the upper body strength isn't there like it used to be. He
Yeah.
didn't get to work out all off season, so it makes sense. Lost him that Saturday night game. Who would have thought Austin Barnes, the big hero in that one, hit the leadoff home run in the bottom of the second, and that's all the Dodgers would need. Luckily, behind that freaking stellar pitching performance from Gonsolin, season high 5 1/3 inning pitch, season high 7 strikeouts, 81 pitches. We needed that from him. We needed it to stay away from the bullpen from as long as possible. And we also just needed to show that he's heading in the right direction, that he can still be in this rotation and be valuable, because
That's what I was
it
gonna.
was getting very questionable at
Yeah,
times.
it was. So I was thinking. I know we're not there yet, but obviously the trade deadline is Friday, and everybody wants starting pitching. Um, I still don't know which I want to do. Like the Dodgers can obviously go get a starting pitcher like Scherzer or maybe someone else, or they could just go like the 2014, 2015 Royals route and just have like get a whole bunch of bullpen pieces and just dominate in the bullpen. So if they do the bullpen route, then like Gonsolin or Gray or Price or whoever would really only need to go 4 innings, and then they could mix and match like Nelson and um, people who are actually good. Nelson, Knebel. If they get like Ian Kennedy or Kimbrel, Jansen, Trinan, Gonzalez, they can mix those 5 or 6 people and really be a really, really good bullpen. So I mean, the starting pitcher is probably the better option just because like Scherzer will go 6 or 7 and you don't need
Yeah.
a dominant bullpen. But I don't know. There are different ways to go about it. So I'm interested to see like which way they choose to go about it.
Yeah, and we only do have a couple days left, and they have to do something. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But that was super nice to see from
So
Gonsolin. His fastball was actually averaging 94.5 miles per hour through 5 innings, which is up from 93.2 this season. And last year, he was around 95 most of the year. He seems to also be pitching out of the full windup again as well, and had a 25 combined called strikes and whiffs, which were a season best for him. So he definitely had a strikeout pitch working. Like I had mentioned, that home run by Barnes, which was almost a miracle because up until that point, he was 0 for 17 in his career against Freeland. So that was something else. And the only other positive I really took away from that game was seeing Jansen throw 96. That was nice. So he's just still, the command is not what it needs to be, but the velocity is there. I'm thinking without sticky stuff, the command's a little bit harder for him to find. When you're kind of rearing back and just throwing and don't have your grip to kind of help you control where that pitch is going, you're going to miss the strike zone a bit more. So definitely have to figure that out. And then a congratulations to Pujols on Saturday. He played in career game 2,934, passing Adrian Beltre for the most ever by a Dominican-born player. So that's pretty fucking badass. He did that
and
in a
can I
Dodger
just
uniform.
say that I absolutely fucking love Pujols to death.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I
Um,
keep thinking back about the trade, and I'm well, not the not the trade, but I keep thinking about picking him up, and I'm just like, damn, I'm so glad like I don't
even
run
if
this
he
team.
So my dad had asked me a question like, "Would you bring Pujols back next year if he wanted to come back?" And I said yes. I don't care if he hits zero. Just his energy, the way he's so positive, and the way he sits and talks to people and helps them through things. Like when Jansen was sitting on the bench with his head down and Pujols came to talk to him, I that is going to be sorely needed. I just
It's exactly
I
like Chase
can't.
Utley.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Pujols and just give him a lifetime contract. I don't care.
Like the Dodgers, like Pujols absolutely is not playing for money. Like he's not out there for money anymore. He doesn't need it. He'd probably be willing to come back on
He just
minimum.
loves baseball.
Yeah, he'd probably be willing to come back on minimum or $1 million, like what Utley did. And he has already said he would come back to the Dodgers if they offered him. So I think DH is going to be a big point in that next year, which we talk about all the time, especially with Turner. Um, but again,
Friedman, your two priorities this offseason. Number one, Chris Taylor. Absolutely. Get that man back. Don't care what the price is. Number two, Pujols. I mean, Kershaw should be in there too as
I was
well,
going to say
but
also Kershaw, but that seems like a given.
yeah,
I feel like
those
nobody
two are my
seems to
main
be.
ones.
I feel like nobody seems to be talking about the fact that Kershaw's a free agent because it almost feels inevitable that there's just nowhere else he ends up. Um, I didn't even like think about it, but I'm wearing my Kershaw Forever shirt right now because yeah. Um, so I don't know. Kershaw's definitely on there, but yeah, I'd love to see Poles come back, especially I think it's again inevitable that we have the DH. So they can make it work. They'll figure it out. I want Kershaw. I want Poles on there even as a piece. And if we've got a healthy team, I think the Dodgers can take a hit like that when it comes to the bat and not and like have a bench player like that that doesn't necessarily have to produce all of the time. But that can be out there and kind of be the good piece that the team needs, because we could use that every now and then, and we have definitely needed him more recently, the way things have been going. But then we had that final game, that Sunday versus the Rockies, Gray versus Gray. Dodgers went on to win that one. Gray, we already talked about him. Nelson got activated off the IL first game back. He went an inning. He went an inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. We didn't mention this, but Gray did have that nice pick off to get Story trying to steal second. Talked about him working out at the top of the fourth. Shout out to Dave Roberts for leaving him in there and letting him work out of that. Taylor freaking just doing what he does, ties the game up in the bottom of the fifth with his solo home run. And then Smith, who just seemed to have big hit after big hit over the last week, had his solo home run in the bottom of the eighth to give the Dodgers a lead, and that's all they needed. We saw Kelly come in the top of the ninth to get his save, which he did, picked up his first one of the season. I want to say his first save since 2019. He tweaked his hamstring on the final play of the game, was supposed to be getting treatment on Monday, so there hasn't been any type of update. We will have to wait and see off that.
Injuries are absolutely killing the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. Bellinger pinch hit in that game in the seventh inning. In the seventh inning, did end up grounding out, but as we all know, he's back in the lineup tonight. So nothing really there. That was really all I had for the series. Do you had anything else to touch on?
No, just nope. I think that was it. Yeah, we talked about how
Perfect.
Gray talked about the bullpen issues. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Yeah, I think I'm done there.
Wait, we just gotta. Oh, Kershaw just said so. He had 3 innings pitched in sim game today in San Francisco, and he said, I think it went well, or it went all right, got it done. That stuff is no fun, so I'm glad I got it over with. They said, what's next? He said, it's just a matter of what the team needs. Obviously, I'm not built up to 100 pitches or whatever. If I have to be built up to 90, 100 pitches, I'll probably have to do another one. If less than that is good enough to be back, then I'll probably be back. So good news on the Kershaw front, feeling good after his sim game.
I would like to see you go on a rehab assignment.
Yeah, they probably will.
Speaking of that, so all the talk was, excuse me, Seager was going to be recalled on Wednesday. That obviously didn't happen, and then it was, he's going to have more sim games and then go on rehab assignment. What?
Oh, they're just doing what they should. I don't know. I'm guessing his hand just hasn't felt so good. I'm guessing they were just trying to. I don't know. It's kind of what you said. What you had said about players' comments after games is how I feel about managers and injuries. I don't really give a shit what they have to say until the player is out there on the field. Everyone was like, why does Roberts lie? Guys, every single manager lies about their players' health. It's literally what they do. They are not ever going to actually tell us 100% the truth. They also don't always know when they speak to the media. Like sometimes something happens in a game and a player is getting worked on, and Roberts doesn't see that player till after the meeting. So, yeah, I'm just not taking anything on Seager until I actually see him back out on the field, hopefully sooner rather than later. Some updates. We already know Taylor won the NL Player of the Week. Scherzer is a big name being talked about. According to Jason Stark of The Athletic, the Dodgers have reached out and are showing interest in Max Scherzer. I want to say they're on his list of places he would be willing to go to.
One more person, yes. Excuse me.
Trey Turner.
I was going to say, someone I talked to said that the Dodgers are trying to go big game hunting. So they're looking for packages, whether it be like Kimbrel and Bryant or Gibson and Gallo, Kennedy Gallo, Scherzer and Turner. Scherzer and Turner is going to cost a shit ton, by the way. Barrios and Buxton would also cost a shit ton. So
yeah, if they're locked up longer, that I could see more. Whereas Scherzer, like, I don't know. I feel like because he has a no trade clause, it kind of puts the Nationals in a position to only deal with certain teams, and like only certain teams are going to give so much. So, I mean, the Padres are talking to him too, so you never know what's going to happen there. Obviously, I don't think they would do anything. They're not going to go after Trey Turner, but they just got Adam Frazier. That would be very interesting. I kind of wonder if they were to do something like that. They were
still trying to get Trevor Story, last I heard.
Would you
center field somehow? I don't.
Yeah, someone else had said apparently the Yankees had talked about him potentially, or not the Yankees. Someone else had said that Trevor Story could play the outfield.
I know Trey Turner could play the outfield. I didn't know Trevor Story could.
If they were to go after Trey Turner, would you be fine with the Dodgers packaging someone like Gavin Lux?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I was at too. Because it's going to start
Um,
with someone like Lux or Ruiz. Like that's who it absolutely starts with right
yeah.
there. They're
So
going to want big league ready players.
I still 100% believe in him, whether he's here or not. I don't that part I don't really don't care about. So if he's gone, whatever. Also, him on the Nationals and him learning from Juan Soto, who's the best left-handed hitter in baseball. Hello.
Trey Turner, that'd be fantastic. He did test positive in today's game,
Yeah, not
so
great.
that's unfortunate.
At
But
least it's not an injury though.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So the Dodgers have also, like you kind of mentioned, shown interest in Barrios. Seems more unlikely that he'll get traded, but I guess nobody's ever untouchable. Right price. We'll see what happens. So Dodgers are kind of, there hasn't been a whole, oh, Danny Duffy was another name that the Dodgers and the Giants are both looking in. I don't think that actually
He's not
happens
going to
because,
be. Yeah, he's not going to be ready till September.
and I
So I
just
don't
don't
see the
think
point
that
there.
pushes the needle too much either way.
But see
So
that was my thing is it depends what they're looking. If they're just looking for somebody to eat innings, he'll do fine. He can go 5 innings, give up 2 runs. Is that great? No, but is it good enough? Absolutely. Um, but if you're looking for like someone who can give you 7 innings with no runs, some of those things, then obviously Scherzer's the big one there, or the only one there.
yeah, Scherzer, Barrios probably the next one under that. That's given you type of any actual upgrade, legit upgrade. So we'll have to see what happens there.
I haven't been feeling good, but shout out to I forgot who I sent you. Was it Morosi for being
Yeah,
an idiot and making me laugh with that Dustin May thing because what the
yeah,
Dodgers
Dustin.
one they're not trading Dustin May because Dustin May is
Yeah,
already better than Barrios. Two, Dustin May is a lot better than Morjon or Morhaler, how you say his name. So those are even remotely equal. What the hell are
yeah,
you talking about?
I don't think, yeah, that's not happening. No reason for that. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Deadline's on Friday, so hopefully by Tuesday we have some updates on some new Dodgers for you. Quick update on Bauer. His admin leave has been extended through August 6th. His hearing for the restraining order is set to start on August 2nd, and it will be the 3rd and 19th as well. He was supposed to
And being
start
the asshole he is, he showed up late. Yeah.
yeah, yes, he did. He was supposed to start last week, but Bowers, he had a court date last week, but Bowers' team says they need more time to review additional witnesses and medical documents that they say they didn't receive until recently. So that's that. And until there's more information, we're not going to bother talking about him. Injury updates, Betts, we already talked about. Right inflammation, had his last at bat, pinch hit July 19th, which was stupid. Should have been on the IL much sooner, but glad he's on there. Seager, he fractured his hand, as we all know, back on May 16th. He's at Camelback Ranch, expected to take at bats, and the team is leaning towards having him go on a rehab assignment. Kershaw, we just talked about him. Good news there. Knebel, he's been out since April 24th with a right lat strain. He began his rehab assignment last night in OKC. He went an inning, did not give up a hit, did not give up any runs, no walks, and struck out 2. He had 15 pitches, 9 strikes, and he faced Bregman and got him to
Oh,
fly out.
FYI, breaking news, his curveball's still nasty.
God, I can't wait to have him back. And then Uceta, while it does not affect the big league club, he was on the IL July 10th for left lumbar strain. He's been activated off the IL and optioned back to OKC. So hopefully we don't see him again because it means Andrew Friedman did something and guys are staying healthy.
He needs to stay there.
Yeah. So with that said, we definitely got our predictions wrong, although I'm not blaming us for that because that was just,
Again, my prediction of 6-0 should have been correct.
yeah, the Dodgers should have swept both games or both series, but they did not.
Yes.
So we have our series look ahead. We've got Urias versus Webb tonight. Tomorrow we've got Bueller versus DeSclafani, and then finishing that off, we've got Price versus Johnny Cueto. So that's a quick 3-game series. Quick 3-game series against the Giants in San Francisco. And then we head to Arizona over the weekend. And that, while it does not say in the app, that starts on Friday. That should be Gonsolin, Gray, and then I want to say Urias finishing that series up. So I don't know if we sweep an SF. I love the Bueller matchup. I think he'll be great. I'm feeling good about Urias. Price, I feel good going against Cueto. I'm going to say 2 out of 3 for the Giants and then sweep. So 5 out of 6, if I'm doing my math right.
Okay, so you said 5-1 last week, right? And you're going 5-1 again?
Mm-hmm.
Let's try this again. 6-0.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going 5-1. You're going. All right, there we go. Do you want to? What are our hits of the week? Who ended up winning that one?
Oh, I forgot to count again, but let's just Taylor. It was I think
Yeah.
that was pretty
Oh,
obvious.
yeah. Probably has to be Taylor. And then minor league minute.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna go over the Dodgers players that were ranked in the top 100 prospects list. Kyber Ruiz was ranked 16, and he was also named Triple A Player of the Week this week. He hit 444, 4 home runs, 4 doubles, and 8 RBIs. He's definitely earned this ranking. Unfortunately, he doesn't play another position, and I know a lot of people are like, "Well, just send Austin Barnes down, trade Austin Barnes." But a lot of pitchers, not just starters, really love pitching to Austin Barnes because of the comfort level. So that's not going to happen, and I think the pitcher's comfort level is much more important to me. And then we'll head on to Bobby Miller, who was ranked 56. He was part of a no hitter for the Great Lakes Loons, their first one in history. Clayton Beater went the first 2 innings, and then Miller went the next 5, striking out 7. Fastball was clocked as high as 99, so he was just throwing straight gas. Diego Cartaya was ranked 58th. He still hasn't been taken off the leave yet, so I'm not really sure what's going on there because he seems fine. Like you mentioned last week, he was at Dodger Stadium having the time of his life, so not sure why he's not playing. Um, Josiah Gray was ranked 59. We've already discussed him and how he fared in the major leagues. And then the Dodgers' last player ranked in the top 100, Michael Busch. He came in at number 80. He had 6 hits this week, 4 walks, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles. He continues to be really good after a really rough June. In July, he's currently hitting 300 with 5 home runs, 17 walks, 16 RBIs, and OPSing at 1.033. His on base percentage the whole year is dangerously close to 400, which is fucking elite. So that man gets on base. That man is Max Muncy, and I love that.
Yeah, so going well. I want to say the Dodgers are the only NL team that has all of their teams above 500 in every single level. So minor leaguers just absolutely killing it. Hopefully the big league level can start playing the way we expect them to. Update on Joe Kelly. He's actually not available tonight after hurting his hamstring on Sunday. They are hoping he will be back. And then they are obviously sending Gavin Lux on a rehab assignment, and he is in Arizona getting treatment and taking BP in a cage. They just don't know when he will be able to take a rehab assignment. And Seager started playing in games at Camelback Ranch on Monday, so that's good news there. They have not decided yet on whether he goes on a rehab assignment or not, so I'm assuming he will. Like I said, I just don't think they're telling the media anything. Just kind of doing what they're doing. So that's it. Unfortunately, we had a little kind of mix up of plans with no Ray today, and that was a last minute thing. So we don't have the MLB news. I apologize for that. But I mean, we kind
Oh,
of
we
talked
can
about,
go off what we remember. Adam Frazier was traded to the
yeah,
to Padres.
yeah. And Trey Turner has COVID, but I mean, I don't really think there's been a whole lot of anything. Kendall Graveman is traded to the Astros. So, I
I'm
mean,
sorry, that's
isn't
oh,
a,
that's actually pretty funny.
isn't a whole lot of anything. He deserves to be there. He broke Turner's wrist, so fuck him. He can go be in Houston for all I care. Oh, and Steven Strasburg is out for the rest of the season because he's having neck surgery to repair a nerve issue. So really the whole league's just broken. Bad year for baseball, but it's all good. We'll rebound, have some good baseball next year,
I saw
hopefully.
someone say that the same surgery that Strasburg has is the one that Matt Harvey had, and after that, Matt Harvey has obviously never been the same.
Oh
So
man, that sucks.
yeah, the Nationals. I am so sorry,
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
especially after paying him all that money.
The three NL West contenders. Oh, so apparently San Francisco, LA, and San Diego remain the favorites to land Scherzer. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Hopefully
Well,
by
the
next
only one I'm
Tuesday.
worried about is the Padres because they have a better farm system, and AJ Preller be on coke and just start straightening everybody. So
Yeah, that dude's fucking crazy. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can get going because we're gonna need something. But I can't wait. Hopefully next Tuesday we have plenty of new Dodgers to talk about, and hopefully some positive news. And hopefully lots of wins to talk about because that last week was not what we expected at all. But Yeah.
6. They're gonna figure it. They have to.
Yeah.
Despite all the missing people, they've still been in position to win each
At
and every
some
ball
point,
game.
yeah, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna keep. They're the worst in baseball, I think, in they're like 1 in 10 in extra innings, and they're
One
like
run games, yeah,
yeah, and they're like
that
awful
cannot
in
happen.
one run games. And that doesn't seem like them, so that's gonna change at some point, hopefully soon.
It's
Um,
all the depth issues because of the injuries.
yeah. So other than that, as always,
Yeah, go give me Kimbrel and Chris Bryant, and
yeah,
let's
let's
move on.
go win something because this team could, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They'll be fine. They'll be good. Just get it going because I don't want that wild card spot, a wild card game against the Padres or the Giants. A one game does not sound like a good time. So let's win this division. Still got plenty of baseball left, so not too worried about it. Let's just take this
I
series
think I'm the
against the
only one
Giants.
that isn't really worried about the Giants. I have to be. They don't frighten me whatsoever.
No, I think the last series kind of showed they haven't been good since the All-Star break. They almost got swept by the Pirates. They barely beat us. They have not been good. So we shall definitely see what happens there.
And they always play the Dodgers well. So once they start playing other teams, if it continues not to be good, then they are obviously going back to the means and being just average,
Yeah, but
which they are. I think.
let's sweep this series and come out on top, and then we'll be good to go. That's the best way to look at it. Sweep this series, we'll be back in first place for God knows for the first time in who knows how many months.
Feels like
But
every time they get close, they decide like, nah, not this time.
they're
A little
real
irksome.
they're reeling people in. They're like, we're gonna let them think we're gonna be good, and then we're gonna fuck it all up just to keep them coming back. So
Is this week finally the week they do it?
yeah, it's feeling like it. Hope so. Hopefully we got Muncie back, so I'm feeling good. Hopefully healthy Bellinger swinging the bat well. Should be good to go. But other than that, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to hit that follow, subscribe button wherever you listen. You can leave a rating and reviews on Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at Dodger Yard, and you can find me, Randy_Radcliffe, on Twitter and IG.
You can go to allmylinks.com/Konu, KONU, and find my social medias on there.
And we will catch you guys next week. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, weekend, whenever it is you listen to this. Go Dodgers. We're going to go sweep 2 teams real quickly, and then we'll catch you guys next week, hopefully with some new members of the team. See you later. Bye, guys.
See you later, guys.